pleasures.
Past pleasures.
Yeah.
So here's to cruiser's life. We'll figure this out and we'll be okay.
Friends, we are getting ready to pack things up and start moving to Santa Barbara,
which is about 74 nautical miles away from Avila Beach and should take about 12 hours.
Leaving the house, most of you probably are like, okay, phone, wallet, keys, let's go, let's get out of here. Leaving a boat, it's a huge ordeal for us. Well, at least it is right now, because this is our second time leaving a place. We've kind of started a little checklist to go through stuff. I take care of lashing things down, putting things away. Our boat goes through another Big Sur Pebble Beach swell experience that nothing breaks. So I put a lot of things away in the sink. A lot of things will go down on the floor, get wedged in between things. Little netting. I don't have it there all the time. We're not going for this like little fisherman ambiance here. It only goes on when we start doing passages. Armand is currently prepping the outboard to for us to raise, and then the dinghy. And I think that's probably the most difficult part. I'm gonna go see if Armand is ready for mussels, because I'm ready to start hoisting things.
We've been living in sin so long, all the fields are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright.
If we look a little sweaty, a little out of breath, it's because we are, because we just hoisted our dinghy and my watch was like, are you doing a workout right now? And I'm like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, the outboard went up, no issues, but dinghy, we took a little while. We struggled. We were bad communication too, so.
Yeah.
But let's get out of here, because it's still bright out. It's gorgeous. So
yeah.
Let's go.
I'm a little nervous about this passage in Point Conception, and let's get the show on the road.
Yeah. And we are out here. We're doing it live. How's it feel?
Oh, this is like night and day.
Yeah.
I'm still like, okay, don't get too excited,
Yeah.
don't get too happy, but this is already the opposite of our trip from Monterey.
So if we could keep this up all night, that'd be great.
I'd say it's like sustained 12 to 15 knots, and we're not even like close hauled. Like the path that we're on, the passage is, it'd be like on a beach.
Yeah. This is what we bought a boat for and planned for everything. Not bashing. I know that stuff happens, but.
My favorite part is not listening to the end.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that awesome?
That just gave me anxiety, I think, during the last trip, because it was just like that constant hum and vibration.
And dinner is served. We've got waffles and a sandwich. Our first real meal that we prepared, we ate in wet. Yeah, like we've had apples and snacks like that, but Leah's got a quintessential breakfast for dinner, and I have a sandwich right here. So, cheers to the first.
Got some waffles.
Our first meal underway.
Passage pleasures.
Past pleasures.
Depth sounder went from 400 feet to about 10 feet. And at one point it was like 5 feet. I'm like, you know, it's not getting shallow. I think that there's
wildlife underneath. I know that we're not off of the coast of Portugal or Spain or wherever the orcas are attacking the boats, but we're in these creatures' backyard. We're disrupting their sleep. You can see why they want to attack us. It is 8 p.m. Maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, 8 p.m. It's cold.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Well, it's also really overcast. Pino wants to join in on this conversation. And there's going to be no moon because it's a new moon. So we're going to be kind of in the dark and not see land for a while. We're hoping for maybe some dolphins?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
We're just hoping for calm weather. That's all I want.
So far we've had pretty good wind.
Yeah.
Just enough to like keep us going at 6 knots. The waves aren't terrible. We've had a meal and we're just gonna keep trucking.
As the afternoon faded, we didn't get the beautiful sunset we were hoping for. Just more fog, thicker and heavier by the minute. The temperature dropped, the dampness set in, and it got dark. Very dark. As we headed further offshore, it was pitch black. No city lights, no shoreline, no moonlight at all. Just the glow of our charts and the sound of the hull bashing against the waves. At that point, we couldn't see where we were going. Leah was at the helm, steering through the darkness, making sure we didn't hit any vessels that popped up on our radar. We just had to trust the instruments, trust Cosmo, and trust that if there were any whales out there, they were better at avoiding us than we were at avoiding them.
Well, good morning. You wouldn't really tell from looking at it, but it's daybreak. I think the sun just rose. It's so foggy you can't tell. We're rounding Point Conception, so a couple hours behind schedule, but no big deal because we'll be all right come Santa Barbara. I'm taking over for Leah. She's been a complete champ. She's done actually most of the sailing overnight. I couldn't really get the downwind thing. I was messing it up. I was getting a little flustered and started to hallucinate a little too because of lack of sleep, so she took over. But check out what we have here. Look at all that fog. I obviously wasn't paying attention, but really this is us just slightly touching the helm and guiding around. We have 6 knots of wind, traveling about 4.5 knots, so still making headway. Better this than being blasted though, absolutely crazy. That was our one concern about Point Conception, was that, I mean, seriously, some people say it can turn on a dime. So it's still early, still could happen, but things are looking good so far. I have to remain a little bit more vigilant than normal because I have no visibility whatsoever. So I hear some foghorns and stuff like that. And my AIS is showing who's here. I think we'll be okay, but gotta pay attention. Luckily, Leah let me have a nice long nap. I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, so let's knock this out for a couple hours and hopefully the sun will cook off this fog.
11 a.m. I can finally confidently say that we've rounded Point Conception unscathed. It was a pretty easy trip. The only downside is that we were overly cautious. We ended up taking a really long route, kind of far offshore, in order to avoid getting close to the point. Actually, like 2 points that you've got to avoid. It's Point Arguello and then it's Point Conception. First time that we tacked, we were like, oh my god, we're going to get way too close to it. So then we ended up going a little bit further offshore. We're finally kind of back on track. We're like, oh my god, it's going to be another 8 hours before we get to Santa Barbara. The whole trip was supposed to be 12. But that's okay. The weather is semi-decent. It's warm. We've shedded half of our layers. Hopefully we'll get to Santa Barbara maybe around 4 or 5 p.m. And Armand thinks that this giant oil rig is exciting. We're in an area that Armand says is called Gavota, but I didn't fact check him. But what I can tell you about this area is that it feels like the doldrums. Doldrums? How do you say it? Doldrums? We are averaging about 2 knots of wind speed. So we put our sails up, they flapped around, and then we rolled them back in, and we said, hey, let's just motor, because we want to get to Santa Barbara this month. We've been cooking, chilling, reading, doing crossword puzzles, things that we definitely didn't do on the last passage, so we're pretty grateful for these calm conditions. And the water literally looks like glass. Only downside is that there are a few oil rigs or some kinds of like boats that have oil. Maybe they're transporting oil or something. And there have been a few spots where I've seen some oil spill. And I know it's not from our boat because we're just moving right through it and it's kind of like everywhere. So that's a little bit unfortunate.
All right, so pretty crazy discovery here is, you know, this jib block. I noticed it was, I actually heard this last night and I didn't know what it was. This pin was holding this shackle and it just came out. I was just removing the line. Luckily this didn't fall in. So let's see what that side looks like.
The first casualty of our cruising adventure.
Not too bad. It's just sandwiched between these 2 screws. So it must have just knocked out of place. No big deal. I'll just remove one of the screws, slide in, and screw it down. Easy fix. And I also have this cushion for that, so I need to do this anyways. Always a positive sign.
So am I hearing that we're not going to be draining our bank accounts in Santa Barbara?
No way. That's an easy fix. I already bought that.
I like it. Easy fixes are the best. We're almost there. The crazy hair, we've been up for many hours. So this 12-hour passage ended up being a little bit longer, close to 23 hours. But it's okay, because we made it. We just dropped anchor, and we're in Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara Pier is right behind us, and Santa Barbara main town is right there. So we are gonna drop our paddle boards. We're gonna take this little nugget to the beach so he can do his business. And then, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're either gonna nap or
party.
Okay, Captain said we're gonna party. We're not gonna party. But yeah, let's go explore Santa Barbara. Second passage done.
Okay, it happened again. So, you guys remember, I used to have this water tank and it used to leak and I got a new one. Well, we just sailed from Avila Beach to, we're in Santa Barbara now, 24-hour sail. And this water alarm's going off, so time to figure out what's going on here. Okay, bad news, it's salt water, right in here. I gotta find out where this is coming from. It may have been from, you know, we've taken a lot of spray over the bow. That may have been it, because we were going downwind. But I'm gonna pump this out. Okay, I'm trying not to like freak out about this. The biggest thing is that now everything that I own is in the the other rooms, because this is like our storage area, so I just basically took apart our storage unit just to get to this. Water looks good, it's all dry, we're not trickling out here. Pulled about 10 gallons, so it's quite a bit. Last night we were bashing into waves like crazy. They're all coming over the bow. I think this is coming over either through the anchor locker or in a different area, which would mean we would just fiberglass over it. It's not the end of the world. It's kind of a pain, but there is a West Marine here. We're in civilization, so we need to do it. So tonight, or maybe even tomorrow, Leah and I are gonna do a little bit of discovery and try to find where this is coming through. Kind of sucks, but better than this happening, you know, better than it being a crack. I don't think it's a crack or anything like that. It's okay. We are in Santa Barbara. Wait. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
We're gonna chat, we're gonna complain a little bit, and then we're done.
Yeah.
I can be pretty annoying because I'm so positive, and I'm not just trying to flex on anybody, it's just sometimes I overlook things. So I'm trying to be fair to Leah. Leah, how you doing?
Good.
You're You're good. The past 2 passages have been pretty brutal.
Oh,
They've been rough. They've been long. They both took longer than we thought.
Yeah.
You came back to water in your bilge.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Are you okay with this life? I know it's only open a week.
Yeah. We talked about it, I think 2 days ago, when we said the highs are high and the lows are low. And I really think it's true. We were motoring through like the glassy, nice conditions today, and we saw some dolphins, and it was just really hot. I was wearing a t-shirt at one point. I have never been on my boat out on the ocean in a t-shirt.
Doing a crossword puzzle.
Never. So that was like really nice. And then the lows are low, like just trying to figure out why there's salt water in our anchor locker.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had some stumbles, but we're okay. So yeah, we'll be good.
Yeah. No, we're good. I think everything is like...
It's just a lot. Like we have so much to learn. Like just the other day, like I was left in the anchor and I don't know how to use my... I don't know how to use the anchor bridle. It's just everything's so stressful. So we'll get there. You know?
Yeah, this is only our 2nd anchorage.
Yeah.
And even though we've owned our boat for 4 years, we've hardly sailed it. We've hardly taken it out on the water.
We have.
We've been working on it. We've been on the dock for so long.
Yeah. Like
trying to get it ready. And I think that we got it as ready as we could.
We're not going to talk too much about this, but just check out this anchorage, right? So it's like, you got to think about these things and like, yeah, it's all good. So how long can we be here for?
Dude, I don't know.
We have some stuff we have to do here. We have to go to the DMV because I didn't register the dinghy. We have to go to West Marine. We're gonna have a good time here. We're gonna do a little bit of work. I think this is a good anchorage in which to work, but we're gonna have some fun too. So here's to Cruiser's Life. We'll figure this out and we'll be okay. All right, see you guys. We're gonna enjoy our beers. Clink. Well, we're here.
What up, fam?
All right, we found that leak. Well, we haven't found it.
No, we just know there's a leak.
We know, yeah, we saw it. So we're gonna open up this stuff and find the leak. Leah's gonna be on the anchor locker. I'm gonna be down here. Know where it is on the inside. So I think I'm gonna use a flashlight and shine it from here, and hopefully you can see it.
So it was actively trickling as you were pumping the water out.
I was vacuuming out, yeah.
That's interesting.
I shouldn't have said that. What I should have said was that I could see it was wet, and above it wasn't wet.
Okay.
But that's why we're here. That's where we're gonna find it.
So I'm gonna go get my little kit of food coloring, and we're gonna figure out where the leak is. What if Pinot, hear me out. What if Pinot could sniff out leaks? Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So Leah, you're gonna pour it in some sections, and then see where it lands.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I'm a blue coloring.
All right, so Leah just filled that thing like crazy and I didn't see any water whatsoever. So, gotta figure out where this stuff is coming from because I pulled out 10 gallons after that sail.
Our update is that we have no update. Armand was not gonna give you an update at all, and I said, hey, you can't leave people hanging. Like, I was left hanging in the anchor locker for like an hour trying to figure out what the leak was.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. I covered it in water.
I was in there like splashing water. You could see, I had like my little cup and I was like splashing water everywhere. Here with his flashlight, and then we switched spots because I think he didn't trust me. And so he was like dousing everything with water. He went as far as like, I think the Dodger, and I'm like...
Well, I wanted to see if it would come in between the cracks here.
Yeah, that it would magically travel from the middle of the boat to the...
I'm desperate.
I did a quick Google search. Most people have this issue when they start installing like a bow thruster, because that's where they start drilling into their boat. We don't have a bow thruster. Now I don't even want to install one because I don't want to have a leaky V-berth. So we're gonna fiberglass things. Yeah. And then put our V-berth back together. And I'm gonna go check out what's going on in my bathroom because apparently it's soaked. You want to see how bad it is? No, it's not too bad. Nothing on the counters. Armand will live to see another day. Okay, Pinot, ready to fiberglass? So maybe we got a little bit ahead of ourselves because, you
know, when in doubt, gloss it out. But when you have no idea where the crack is and you have no idea where the water is coming from, where are you supposed to fiberglass? So we decided to hit pause on that project. We put the V-berth back together, we put the water alarms back in, and just hoped for the best. The water alarms didn't go off for several weeks until we got to San Diego. We already planned on pulling into the San Diego Marina for another project. So we figured, why not finally fix the leak for real? And finally get the water alarms to turn off. Minor problem, we still couldn't actually find the crack. So we did what any rational boat owners would do. We decided to fiberglass everything. And by we mean Armand. Fiberglassing in the middle of a San Diego heat wave outside in the full sun with no PPE because we're amateurs and just don't know any better. But we had lots of determination to get rid of water in our V-berth and never have to disassemble that cabin or use the wetback in there ever again.